Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session. This is the first question. Two gears, A and B, are shown here. Gear A rotates in clockwise direction. You can see gear B is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. How many complete rotations does gear B have to make for red arrows, for the two red arrows to meet each other is what you have to identify. Okay, so what we are given here? We're given here two gears. A is rotating in clockwise direction, B is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. You have to identify how many rotations does gear B have to make for the red arrows to meet each other. Okay, so this is how the rotation will work. So what I have done here is I have kept, because gear B is rotating, we have to identify the number of rotations gear B goes through. That's why I have kept B as constant, the B arrow as constant, because after every rotation, the red arrow will come back where it is shown here. Okay, that's why. Now, the number of spokes that gear B have is 8. So that's why I have counted where does after one rotation of B the arrow shift. Red arrow मैंने नहीं change किया है. I have just added a purple arrow which shows after one rotation which spoke does B point out. So after one rotation, because B has 8 spokes, so it comes down here, which means this is the spoke which will fit here in the position of the red arrow. This is after second, this is first rotation, second, third rotation, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10. So after 10 complete rotation, both the red arrows will face each other. Okay. We'll now move to the next one. If this diagram means a wing, this diagram means Hulk, then what does this mean? Okay. So here, if you observe what exactly is happening is, say C, if you look at the numbers at the bottom and the letter which is given here, say C plus 5 plus 2, 7 letters is H, R plus 3 letters is U, and so on. So Q plus 2 letters will be S, A plus 8 letters is already given to us, I, E plus 2 letter is G, and F plus 2 letter is H. So the word that we are looking here is psi. We'll move to the next one. Figure 1 is an image composed of partial circles. Some cuts in the circle form the corners of a triangle like this. What is the total number of triangles whose 3 corners are formed by 3 circles? Count the total number of triangles whose 3 corners are formed by these 3 circles, like we see in figure 2. So these are all the number of triangles that can be formed. We are getting a total number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. A total of 10 triangles can be formed from this diagram. We'll move to the next one. Which figure or figures below is or are identical to the one in the box? Which figure or figure is or are identical to the one that is given in the box? Okay. So these are all the different variants that is happening here. With option A, this star is a problem. This star is a problem. With option B, again the same star. With option C, this star is a problem. With option D, this star is a problem. E में आपका ये वाला star is a problem, and henceforth F is the only figure which looks exactly as how we are shown in the reference figure. The correct answer is F. We'll move to the next one. Shown below is a print roller. You can roll it to get some kind of a print. Which of the given option or option is or are partly or fully printed using this kind of a roller? Which of these options is or are partly or fully printed using this kind of a roller is what you have to identify. So option A can be printed using this much part, from this part to this part. Option B can be printed using this part to this part, of course, starting from here. Option C, with case of option A, we are starting from here. With case of option B, we are starting from here. With case of option C, it can be printed using this kind of a roller. We are, of course, starting from this part here. And with case of option D, it's this much part, starting from here. All right. But in case of D, the arrangement of those thick, thin lines happening here is a problem. This much part is a problem with option D. So D is wrong. A, B, and C are only correct. Okay. We'll move to the next one. What is the length of the edge of the largest cube that can be placed inside a sphere of radius 10 centimeter? What is the length of the edge of the largest cube that can be placed inside a sphere of radius 10 centimeter? So this is a sphere of radius 10 centimeter, the blue line. The cube that can be placed on the largest side is this, which means that the diagonals of the cube A and B will touch each other, the sphere, and that also happens to be the diameter of the sphere. The diameter of the sphere, henceforth AB, will be 20 centimeter. So in triangle A, Y, and B, okay, Y is this point. One second. This point that you see here, that is the Y. So in triangle A, Y, and B, that is, sorry, AYC it should be, AYC that is given here. AC square, which is the hypotenuse, is AY square plus YC square. So X, if I assume the edge of the cube to be X, it becomes X square plus X square, which is 2X square. Now we go to the triangle A, B, and C, which is given here. AB square, which is a hypotenuse, is equal to BC square plus AC square, which is the two sides. One is, of course, the hypotenuse AC square. AC square value I already know, which is 2X square. BC square value I know, which is X square. So it comes out to 3X square, the hypotenuse AB square. We also know that AB is the diameter, which is 20 centimeter. So AB ka value comes out to be square root of 3 of X. X square ka square root is X. So henceforth the value of X will be AB upon square root of 3. So X will be 20 upon square root of 3. So correct answer is option D here. We'll move to the next one. 10 people are standing in a circle. Which person is assigned, each person is assigned a number as shown in the figure below. The first person is removed number 1. Thereafter, in clockwise, every third person is removed, and this is repeated till only 2 persons are left. What is the sum of the numbers assigned to the two numbers to the 2 people that are left? Okay. We are starting with number 1, which is removed first, and then after that, every third number is removed. What is the sum of numbers assigned to the 2 numbers who are left at the end? So in this case, this is how the numbers will get eliminated. First 1 hoga, then this, then this, then this number. After that, this number, then this, then this. The number after crossing each of that will be left will be 8 and 2. So addition of that will be number 10, which is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. We are given here and some equation. If 1 inch is 25 mm, which is 6 pica, one equation. Second equation, 1 pica is 12 points, which is 16 pixels. Then you have to identify what is the value of this in pixels. Okay. In this case, what we will do is we'll first convert everything into pixels. This is given. So 1 pica is 16 pixels. 6 points is 8 pixels, 2 inches will be 192, 3 pica will be 48 pixels, and 25 mm will be 96 pixels. Then we add all of them, we come up to a total of 352 pixels, which is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. You're given here a figure, you have to count the total number of squares that are given in this figure. How many squares are there in this figure? Okay. So these are the total number of squares. This is the first pattern that we see. Now what you see, because both the parts are identical, what you see as figure here, the same pattern will also be repeated here. So ये 5 आएंगे यहाँ पे, and then these diamonds are happening here. So this 10 will be happening, 10 squares will be happening here, 10 squares will be happening here on this side because both paths are identical. That makes a total of 20 squares. Likewise, 8 squares, 4 of these and 4 of these are happening here. So 8 and 8 here, so 16. And then between a combination of both of them, we get 1 this square. So a 1 square here. So 20 plus 16 plus 1 makes a total of 37 squares. We'll move to the next one. We're given here a figure. You have to count the number of cubes in the figure. No cube has been removed from the parts of the figure that are not visible. Okay, we're given here a 3D object. You have to count the total number of cubes that this 3D object has. We are also given this condition that no cubes have been removed from the figure that is not visible. That's the backside of this figure. The total number of this is 6 by 6 by 6 cubes. 6 cubes here, 6 cubes here, and 6 cubes here. The total number of cubes without, if this whole thing was intact, without any kind of removing, would be 216. Now we'll find how many cubes are removed. Now when I see that 6 in the first row, which is the 6th one, 0 cubes are removed. 5th में से 1 क्यूब रिमूव किया गया है आपका यहाँ से. 4th पोजीशन में से 7, 3 में से 9, थर्ड 4 सेकेंड रो में से 16 और फर्स्ट रो में से 25. इट इज एक्चुअली 36 total number of cubes minus existing 11 cubes that are removed. That makes a total of 25. It will be easier to do it that way instead of counting how many cubes are removed and then subtracting it. So 25 cubes are removed. So total number of cubes that are removed will be 0 plus 1 plus 7 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 makes a total of 58 cubes removed. So the remaining cubes that are removed are 216. The remaining cubes that are there are 216 minus the removed cubes 58 makes a total of 158 cubes that are remaining in this figure. In this kind of a figure, it is more important to follow how many cubes are removed because that is less. It makes our task easier. That's why. Okay. We'll move to the next one. A square with 4 sets of symbols in it is to be divided into 4 equal parts such that each part has 4 symbols in it. Which of the 4 shapes shown below fulfills this condition? You're given here a square with 4 different types of symbols. You have to identify which of these parts will fulfill the condition where you can replicate this into 4 parts and all of them have all the 4 symbols. Okay. So this is how the division will happen. So in case of option A, this is how that thing happens, how this replication happens, and all the 4 parts have all 4 symbols in it. So A works. With case of option B, again it works, not any problem with it. And all 4 parts that are getting formed here have all the 4 parts in it without any concern. So B also works because it has all 4 parts. In case of option C, yes, the division works without any problem, but there is this part and then there is this part which has 2 identical symbols, so C does not work. And D does not work because there will always be a residue left here like this. So D is not possible. Only option A and B are correct here. We'll move to the next one. Shown below is an empty triangle which is to be filled into 5 tiles. Which option will exactly fill this triangle with all tiles used? Scaling, repeating, and flipping is not allowed, and even rotation is not allowed. One or more options are correct here. So in this case, this is how we divide it. So A wala jo part hai does not work because this kind of a figure is what we are not able to find. We are not able to find this figure here. We have this, but it's wrong in proportion, so A is not possible. With case of option B, this figure and also this figure both. With case of option B, we have this one triangle here, but we do not have the second one which we are looking for. We have this, not any problem. We have this, not any problem. We have this, not any problem. We do not have this, which is given here, and we also have this. So B is also not possible. C wale mein all parts fits in. This one is here, this one is here, this one is here, this one is here, and this one is here. C works. D also works. all the parts are fitting in well without any problem. This part happens here, this part happens here, this part which you're seeing happens here, this part happens here, and this part happens here. So D also works. The correct answer is C and D here. We'll move to the next one. Figure 1 is formed by a black square inscribed in a white square, which in turn is inscribed in another black square of 2 centimeter, as shown. If a point is chosen as random inside figure 1, what is the probability that the point will be in the black part, in the shaded black part? Okay, so we are given here the outer profile of the black square, which is 2 by 2. In this case, when you say probability that the point will fall in the black area, we are basically looking at the ratio of black part to the total area. Okay, so area of the larger black square, outer, okay, is 2 by 2, which is 4. Area of the circle, that is white. Circle का जो diameter है is 2. Why? Because ये vertical 2 है. That's why. उसका diameter is 2. So radius will be 1. So pi r square. So 22 by 7 into 1 square, which is 3.14. Now, in the inner square, which is given here, this is 2. So 2 square is, if I assume the inner square has to be x square plus x square. So 4 is 2x square. So x का value आपका आएगा square root of 2. So area of inner square is square root of 2 into square root of 2, which is 2. So area of black, total area of black will be 4 plus 2 minus 3.14, which is the white circle. This is equal to 2.86. So the probability that we are looking at will be black ka area, which is 2.86 upon total area, which is 4. This comes out to 0.715, which is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. 2 discs shown below are spun randomly and they come to rest after some time. What is the probability that the sum of the two numbers in the 2 discs pointed by the red arrows equals 7 or more? Okay. So in this case, we are given here 2 discs. If you observe in one disc, all the areas are occupied by the numbers are same. Like here, it is 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, and 1 by 4. Versus in this case, 5 occupies 1/3, 2 occupies 1/6, 3 1/6, and 4 1/3. The areas are different. So we cannot say that total number of possibilities and all the possibilities which are 7 or more. That's not possible. In this case, we have to go number by number by number with reference to the area that it occupies. Say, for example, in the left disk and right disk, if I name it like that, left disk mein 5 is occupying 1/3 of the area, which means probability of getting 5 is more than other numbers like 2 and 3. Versus the right disk, all the areas are equal, so all the probability will be the same. Now, if 5 happens in the left disk, in that case, the possible combinations that will work with 5 to get 7 or more will be 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that occupies an area of 1 total in the whole disk. So probability of getting 5 with 5, probability of getting 7 or more with 5 in this disk will be 1/3 multiplied by 1, which is 1 by 3. Now we'll go with fourth one. Fourth wale mein which numbers work? 2 does not work. 4, 3, 4, and 5 works. 3, 4, and 5 occupies a space of 3 by 4 in the right disk. So probability of getting 7 or more with the number 4 is 1 by 3 area occupied by 4 number and 3/4 area occupied by the numbers which work with number 4 to get 7 or more. This is 1 by 4. Now we'll do for the same way with 2. For 2, only 2 numbers work. For 2, only 1 number work, which is 5. So that probability will be 1/6 multiplied by 1 by 4, which is 1 by 24. For 3, 2 numbers work, which occupy half the area. So probability with 3 will be 1/6 area of 3 and 1 by 2, which is 1 by 12. So the total probability that we are looking at is addition of all the probabilities. P5 is 1 by 3. P4 is 1 by 4. P3 is 1 by 12. And P2 is 1 by 24. So the probability when you solve this will be 8 plus LCM is 24. So 8 plus 6 plus 2 plus 1 upon 24, which is 17 upon 24, comes out to 0.705, which is the right answer of getting number 7 or more by this combination. We'll move to the next one. The shapes given in the option can be used to cut figure 1 into a number of identical pieces. Which shape will cut figure 1 such that all 4 symbols are included in each of the pieces and no symbols are left around? Which of this one shape can be used, which gives us a combination such that all four symbols are used and there is no symbol that is left around, and also there is no overlap. So this is how the division happens. This is A and C together because they are similar. Usme you will be left around with this kind of part and even this kind of part. So A is not possible. C is also not possible. B works without any problem, and all the parts that we are seeing that are getting occupied are by different symbols. So B is the right answer. D wala bhi nahi kaam karega because this symbol will be left around. So correct answer is option B here. We'll move to the next one. Given figure 1 is cut into pieces, you have to identify the option whose pieces can be correctly assembled to form the figure 1. Which of these pieces can be correctly assembled to form the figure 1? Okay. So how it opens? In this case, the division works like this, where A wala jo option hai easily works. All the figures comes together to fit in and form that figure H. B wala works, but in terms of a scale in triangle, not as an isosceles triangle like we are given in figure B. C wale mein these parts are problematic, so C nahi kaam karega. D wale mein one square is missing, so D does not work. Option A is the one which is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. Below is an animation sequence of Raju playing with his hair. However, except frame 1, all other frames seems to be mixed up. You have to choose the correct order, which is the correct order. In this case, because where options are given, it's easier. Either it's 1 6 followed by 1 7. Either 1 is followed by 6 or 7. In this case, 7 is a drastic combination, so it comes much later. 6 comes first. Now, after that, we have to identify. So 7 वाला जो option है, B और D गलत है. After that, we have to identify 6 के बाद 7 आएगा या 5 आएगा. In this case, 5 is a smoother combination compared to 7 after 6. So A is wrong. C is the right answer. We'll move to the next one. An angry bird is flying in front of a pinhole camera as shown in the figure. If it flies back in the opposite direction, what will be the image cast on the inner wall of the camera? In this case, with case of the angry bird, what happens is when you look at it from the pinhole camera, if this person is facing in this direction, then in the pinhole camera, that person will be rotated and will be looking in the opposite direction. So that's how the resultant figure gets formed. So in this case, if the angry bird is moving in that direction, the opposite direction, with the beak facing the other way, in which case the pinhole camera image has to look in this side towards the longer side. So option B is the one which is the right answer. I'll move to the next one. A short interview is being planned for a live TV as described in this figure below. This is the description. For filming it, 4 cameras, 1, 2, 3, 4 have been placed. Okay. From the options, choose the sequence that most closely gets followed as described here. It starts with establishing the interview space. The interview space is given by the number 2. Then close up to the interviewer and interviewee who introduces the interview. So 4 and 1. Interviewer 4 wala camera and then interviewee 1 wala camera. After that, as the interview continues, we shift between both of them and questions are answered after 3 questions. So after this introduction, 4 1 4 1 3 बार आएगा. because 3 questions are answered. This is question, question, and question. After 3 questions, we end the interview showing both of them. Both of them are showed in figure 3. And then the interview space, which is 2. So correct answer is option D here. We'll move to the next one. 2 different views of a solid object are given here. If viewed from the direction as shown in the arrow, what would be the view like? What will we see? In this case, we want, because of the angle of the viewing angle and also the plane. This is in one plane. We won't be able to see the square if I'm looking at it from this side. We will be able to see these triangle faces. So correct answer is option C. यहाँ पे ये kink form हो रहा है, so A गलत है. B and D are definitely wrong because we are able to see this parts here. That's why. The correct answer is option C. We'll move to the next one. Ida is standing on a structure as shown below. She wants to reach point A, B, or C, but she can only travel on a continuous surface. Which of the following statements is or are true? Okay. So this is how Ida walks. Ida can move through option A through this trajectory, which is shown here. So A works. And Ida can also reach option C through this trajectory. When I draw it in dotted, it means it is the back surface. So C also works, not any problem. So correct answer is option C, that Ida can reach only the points A and C. B is not possible because this will go here and it will end at this corner. So therefore B is not possible. Okay, with this, I will end today's session here. Thank you so much for your time.